Hey, this says we're live. I titled this live stream today "Waiting or question mark." Now, I don't know about you. Joy and I live in Canada, and if you followed us much at all, why you know that, and it's a lovely place. But we're both also U.S. citizens, and you know what's funny is we watch U.S. news. Not always, but sometimes. And one of the things that's happening right now, tomorrow, as you all know, if you're in the US, and you might be in England. I mean, I've got followers and clients in England and Mexico and all over the place, but most of them are in North America. And most of them are in US. The election is tomorrow. And I know some of the friends that I have taken a really strong stance on who they're for in the election and have used the social media to talk about that. I'm not going to do that because I'm not interested in creating a polarizing thing. Here's what I know. When people feel attacked, they quit listening. So it doesn't matter what you say. If you say you're for this side and the other side feels attacked, they quit listening. Or if you say you're for this side and the other side feels attacked, they quit listening. Either one of those prevents dialogue. So I'm not going to say anything, but I am interested in having it be done because I am so tired, like had enough up to my eyeballs of the ads and the negative hate language. Like everybody is calling the other one Satan, essentially, existential threat to the universe. None of that's true. It doesn't matter who wins. The country, the United States, is not going to fall apart. It's not. Yeah, policies may get enacted, no matter which side you're on, that you don't like, undoubtedly. The country's not going to fall apart. Anyway, we're done with that. Today, I titled this Waiting or What? And I said that a little bit about the election because I have been waiting for this tomorrow, Tuesday, to come and go so that we can end the hype and just get on with whatever the outcome is and move forward. And whatever the outcome is, that's fine. And that doesn't mean I'm going to like all of it, but it's fine. It will move forward. Now, there's some real lessons I want to talk about in that context. Whatever the outcome is, it's fine. Waiting is sometimes a thing we do when we're scared. Like I'm talking to business owners here. My work is your ultimate life. I'm committed. Like the only thing I do every single day is I work and play to reach 300 million people. 300 million of you. Why that number and why so many? Because I'm on a mission driven. I was on a podcast episode this morning by my good friend David Schreiner-Kahn, who runs a community called Smashing the Plateau. You ought to check it out. Smashing the Plateau. He's an amazing dude. He's in New York. He was telling me how warm it is in New York. Still 75 degrees, which is uncharacteristically warm by a whole boatload. But anyway, his community is about helping entrepreneurs, particularly corporate, refugees, get out of their old job and get into a new thing. Get out of the old and start the new. And you know what keeps that from happening? Waiting. We're waiting for the right time. We're waiting for to get fired or to get laid off or for something to change or waiting to save enough money or waiting for just the right time or waiting for this and waiting for that. There's never a right time. It will always seem like it's not the right time, no matter what you're going to start. I was talking to him about writing a book. He has an amazing life and an amazing story and powerful stuff that really could be valuable. Really could be valuable. So I asked him if he'd written a book about his own journey, and he said that he has a book coming out with a co-author pretty soon. They're working on it, and then I listened about it, and it's great. I'm sure it'll be a wonderful book. Then I asked him about his own journey, about how he got where he is. And I know some of it because not only have I been on his show and he's been on mine, and we've talked several times, but I also, when I was in New York, just pre-pandemic, so 3 or 4 years ago, or 4 or 5 years ago, I guess, I got a chance to meet with him. I was at a mastermind that was being held in New York City, and so we arranged to sit down and have lunch. And we did, and I got to meet him in person, and that was delightful. But what I know from all that is that he's a powerful guy. He's committed to helping entrepreneurs or wannapreneurs take their value and learning and passion out of the corporate arena where they haven't been fully utilized, and neither of you and neither was I, and you know it. And there's always this lingering feeling of not good enough, doesn't feel right, etc. And we often don't do any of that until we get fired or something changes or the pandemic comes or whatever, right? I have another friend, I just filled out a speaker form. I'm going to speak on one of her summits on the 20th of November, so in about 2.5 weeks. And it's on the same thing. It's about how to create your business. And so there's one happened the 30th of October, and another one that was about marketing, and the one on the 20th of November is about my talk's going to be about high ticket sales, how you make high ticket sales. And that used to terrify me. I would hear people talk about high ticket sales, and it would scare me because I thought, I can't do that. How could I convince someone to give me $50,000 or $100,000? Well, I've since learned and done that many times. And it's not about, gee, I convinced them to give me anything. And that was the mistake I was making. It's about what has to happen in our conversations and interaction so that they're dying to give me $100,000. What has to happen? Well, ask yourself that. What would have to happen before you're dying to spend $100,000? Now, you probably have bought a house or a condo or a townhouse. And if you have, you've spent way more than 100,000, 2, 5, 100, 8, 9, a million, 1.8 if you're in California, 1.2. Joy and I are looking at Vancouver Island for next summer and moving over there. And the houses we're looking at are between 1.5 and 2.5 million. Now that's Canadian dollars, so it's a little less in US dollars, but still, it's a lot of money. So convincing, and that's the wrong word, having someone super excited about paying you $100,000 is not difficult. So here's a question you got to answer. What would make you super excited about giving someone $100,000? Well, you did it for a house, and you did half of that for a car, 50, 60, 70, whatever. What was exciting about it is you knew, and worth it to finance or get a mortgage or whatever, you knew what you were getting. I'm getting a house. I will live in it. It will provide shelter. If I like the address in the neighborhood, it'll provide schools for kids if I have them, or it will provide, if you live in a nice neighborhood, some prestige, or if you live in a regular neighborhood that's less, it'll provide a good, safe place. And I love it. It's a good area. It's close to work. It's whatever you knew it would provide. If you buy a car and you've been driving an old one, reliable transportation, less breakdowns, etc. So you knew what it would provide for you. And therein is the first secret. If you're going to sell anything at all, but especially high ticket consulting or coaching kind of stuff, the person who's a prospective buyer has to have that same feeling. They have to know what they're buying. They have to have a sense that what it is so valuable that the price is like totally worth it. So totally worth it. Now, when I say that, you say, duh, and you know that. Oh, of course. If I feel like something's, and I've paid that much for coaching, and I felt like it was totally worth it. And I pay a lot for coaching anyway. And I do it for two reasons. One, I don't hire a coach unless I know it feels like that. And two, I dive in fully expecting to 5 times to 10 times my investment. So if I pay $100,000 for a coaching arrangement, I expect to get $1 million of value. And I don't expect the coach to give me $1 million. I expect to be able from that relationship to develop $1 million in new revenue from that. All right. So I've launched off a little bit, branched off from the idea of, what are you waiting for? But it's the same thing. If you want to create and build a business, you have to answer the question, what are you waiting for? So my friend David in New York, he has a whole community of entrepreneurs and wannapreneurs who are looking to build businesses, maybe from their corporate experience, maybe partly from that and from passion projects. And one of the big things is waiting. Well, you're never going to get there by waiting. You have to build by starting. My son owned his own construction company for many years. Right this minute, he has a job as a manager with another outfit, but he loves working for himself, and he'll probably go back to do that again. And post-COVID, he just needed to do this job thing for a while, and it's a good job, and he does a fabulous job, and he's a great leader. If you want to build a business like he did, like I have, like many you know have, you got to start. So what are the steps to starting? What are the steps to starting? Well, the first step is begin with the end in mind. I'm just going to have some products and sell some stuff. I'm going to coach some people and help them step into their greatness, or, step into their power, or some of those other phrases. There's nothing wrong with those words, but nobody understands what that means. If a car dealer said, well, I'm going to, sell you something that'll, get you some place to place and it'll be warm for you, you wouldn't buy the car. You got to look at it. You got to touch it. You got to sit in the seats. It's got to feel good. You got to test drive it. Well, there's no difference between that kind of purchase and selling consulting or coaching of some kind. The potential buyer has to have an experience that says, wow, that's worth it. That kind of ability for you or me to create that takes practice. It takes mentoring and coaching from someone who's learned how to do it. You can ignore that, or you can start, or you can wait. But I can promise you, as one who has died several times waiting, I don't mean physically died, although that happened in 2018, different story. If you keep waiting, your business will never launch, your book will never get finished, your programs will never get done, and that yearning inside of you will never get satisfied. I talk often to people who say, I want to start a podcast. I want to be a speaker. I want to make a difference in the world. What are you doing now? Well, I'm getting organized. How long have you been getting organized? Well, I've had this thought about how to do this, and I've kind of started for the last 2 or 3 years. You know what I'm going to say? You're going to be there forever. Procrastination is the slow death of dreams. So the name of this today is waiting or question mark. What else can you do besides wait? Well, you can start. I'll give you a really simple way to start. Insert a message in the marketplace. Insert a message in the marketplace. Now, I mentioned the election at the start, and when the election's coming up, there's all kinds of people inserting messages in the marketplace. The candidates and their surrogates have been running all over the country, mostly screaming at the other one. Once in a while, they'll talk about substance, but that is inserting a message in the marketplace. And it's so often and so much, it's becoming obnoxious. The phrases and the stories are the same ones repeated over and over again, and they get kind of old. But that is clearly taking the initiative and inserting a message in the marketplace. Now, skipping all the politics, if you look at your own life and the yearning you have to serve, to sell something valuable, and I'll be really clear, I'm only talking to entrepreneurs that are service-based. I don't mean you don't sell products. I mean that your reason for getting in the marketplace isn't, I want to get rich, I want to have my own time, I want all that crap. It is because I have a yearning to serve. I have a yearning to do good, add good to the world, to make a difference. If that's you, then we're talking together. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with, I'm going to sell widgets because I want to get rich. Go ahead. But the more powerful people have a purpose, have a meaning. That's why I define your ultimate life as having purpose, prosperity, and joy. Purpose drives me. I get up at 5 every morning, and I have a morning creation process that sets me up on fire for the day. It works every day without fail. And so every day I'm so stoked about life, my mission, my clients, these videos, books I'm writing, music I'm doing, everything. I can hardly stand it. How did that happen? Well, it's not an accident. I wasn't born this weird. I developed it on purpose. People ask me all the time, how do I have as much energy as I do? I create it. I create it. There's energy all around us. And if you learn to tap into the energy of your purpose, the energy of the universe, the energy of your spirit, the energy of your creator, and the desire you have to add good to the world, you can have more energy than I do, or as much, certainly. So waiting or what? This is your invitation to answer that question. Let's get into the or what territory. Step 1, insert a message in the marketplace. Now, here's my invitation. I would like to know what your message is to the world. If you were in a stadium and there were 100,000 people in that stadium, a big stadium, right? A great PA system, and the flags over the stadium all had your initials on it. So for me, it would be the KF flags. But I want you to envision your flags, right? DS flag or JF flag or whatever it is. What if the stadium was flying your flags, and so everybody knew they were coming to see you? Now, they're all there, and you walk out on the stage and you have a microphone and you have 3 minutes. I know speeches are longer than that and concerts are longer than that, et cetera, et cetera. But if you really had 3 minutes and everybody was there to see you, what is it that you have for a message that would matter, that would motivate and inspire them to go do something? What would the message be? What would you want them to do or think or be or feel in their heart of hearts? Now, here's my invitation. As you think about that, I'd like you to share it with me, because my work from now till I no longer draw breath, my work is to amplify your message, to get you in front of more people, to get you more opportunities to grow and create good and sell and make cash in the world. That is my mission. Like, I'm reaching 300 million people this year. You know, I have a podcast, Your Ultimate Life. No surprise. I have an LA Talk radio show live. It'll be live tomorrow night. Your Ultimate Life. I have a television program called Creatives Save the World. Season 2 was a little while ago, and I'm going to do, or season 1 was a little while ago. I'm going to do season 2. So here's the question. What is your message? I want to know, because I want to amplify yours. Mine is I want to help 300 million people create wealth and impact with their life purpose, with their most effective offering, their triple helix, their passion project. That means helping you discover it and refine it and, turn it into something that's awesome and valuable. That's what I do. I've done it for me and I've done it for others, and that's what I help people do. High power, high power. I want to know what your message is. I want to feature you and share you with those who need it. That's my offer. Or you can wait. Now, if you want to know the things I'm up to, go to KellanFlukigerMedia.com. It's on the screen. KellanFlukigerMedia.com. And there's an email there. You can reach out to me and we can talk, or you can comment on any of these socials. Love to know what you're about. Love to be of assistance to you getting your mission, your message, your goals reached. Purpose, prosperity, and joy. You know what mine is. I can use all the help I can get getting to 300 million. So if you want to help me, reach out for that too. Love it. We'll see ya.